Happy Valentine's Day. I thought it would be the perfect week to go check out the all romance bookstore in my town. I mean, I've been there before, but I feel like every time I go, it's so crowded. I just look around once and I'm like, okay, I'm leaving because it's too crowded. But I think today would be a nice day to spend some time in there. And I also really want to actually buy some romance books. I haven't been feeling it lately, and I just feel like the romance books on my TBR currently, my physical TBR, are just not what I'm in the mood for. I feel like there's better out there. And I refuse to just give up and be like, I don't read romance anymore. I don't like romance anymore, because I feel like when it comes to straying to different genres, I've been reading lots of sad books and books that just feel so, it makes me feel like so hopeless reading them sometimes. And I love reading them. I love those. I rate them very highly, but I can't just read that all the time back to back. I feel like I need some nice, calm, hopeful romance books. Fun. I don't know. I need some balance is what I'm trying to say. And so I am not giving up on romance. I feel like there's something out there for me. I actually did some research. I'm not going into the bookstore blind. I feel like I'm trying to be more intentional when I go book shopping. Like, going into a bookstore and just browsing and seeing what catches your eye is always fun. But I realized I did that for my birthday last year, and I deserved it. It was my birthday, and those are the books that like stayed on my TBR the longest. Like, I don't gravitate towards them, and it's probably because I chose them very randomly. But anyway, did some research, and I'm going into the bookstore with things in mind. I'll talk about it later when I do my haul, see if we got everything that I wanted. I'm currently reading Wuthering Heights, and I'm reading it before the movie comes out. I didn't think that we'd be watching the movie together because I thought it came out on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna post this on Valentine's Day, but the cinema closest to me says that it actually comes out the 12th. So maybe we'll go see it together and I can really compare the book to the movie, even though everyone says that it's like really different. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, so I'm on page 108 of this book, and the first like 5 chapters, I was like, I'm kind of confused. And I hope you don't think I'm dumb for that, but it's not even that I was confused about what I'm reading. Like, I understood what was going on. It's just like, whose point of view are we in? Is this like someone's journal? Is this like a past story? Is this like now? Like, the point of view was kind of confusing to me, but then I feel like after chapter 5, I like get it. And I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but I'm glad to finally be out of the dark. I feel like it took me like 4 chapters, which is around 40 pages, to like really get into it, and then I was intrigued. But last night, I was reading it before bed. I had to sit up for some of the lines that I was reading. I was like, oh, this is what people talk about. Like, it's not exactly the most romantic story. This one is more of a toxic story. Like, if you know, I think that's one of the things everyone says. It's more of a toxic love story. But the lines are just so good. This line when she says, I love him, and not because he's handsome, but because he's more myself than I am. He's more myself than I am. What do you... I don't think I knew what love was until I read that line. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. Like, just these lines. There's so many lines that I underlined, but I just wanted to mention that one because that was the first one that made me like, let me sit up right now, because what? Oh, I also underlined this. Heaven did not seem to be my home. I don't know why. That felt like a Lana Del Rey lyric to me. It would be interesting to find out that Lana Del Rey is like inspired by Bronte. Oh my god, this entire paragraph. My love for Linton is like the foliage in the woods. Time will change it, I'm well aware, as winter changes the trees. My love for Heathcliff resembles the eternal rocks beneath, a source of little visible delight, but necessary. I am Heathcliff. He's always, always in my mind, not as a pleasure any more than I am always a pleasure to myself, but as my own being. I'm really into it now. I'm really, really into it now. And now that I am liking the story so much, I'm kind of disappointed that people are saying the movie is gonna be really different. But we'll see. I'll let you know how different it really is. I feel like one thing that I already find to be really different is the fact that Heathcliff is described as dark skinned and Jacob Elordi is not that at all. He mentions it again I wish I had light hair and fair skin because he was comparing himself to someone else. And it's just like, this seems to be an important plot point for the way that he's treated and everything. So why is Jacob Elordi casted as Heathcliff? That casting choice, now I'm looking at it in a different light. Now that I've actually started reading the book, it seems concerning. What I was gonna say is that I'll probably go to a cafe, continue reading Wuthering Heights, and yeah, we'll go watch the movie later in the week. Hopefully I get all of the books that I researched for and I'll give you a haul. So let's go. Good morning. We got everything that we were looking for yesterday, and now it's time for a haul. I'm also wearing these pajamas because I just have to be so on the nose for this entire video. I wear these pajamas all year round, and finally wearing it for its intended use, Valentine's Day. Anyway, so this is my haul. Got everything that was on my list. Very happy about that. The first book I wanted to talk about is One and Only by Maureen Gu. Basically, this is the book that sent me on a book crawl instead of just going to the romance bookstore. So the first all romance bookstore didn't have this, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the bookstore that's like 1 block away. And the woman, I asked her, hey, do you have this? And she was like, oh my God, I loved that book. I literally just finished it. I loved it. But no, we don't have it. I was like actually dying. She was like, no, you have to search for it. Like, there are other bookstores on this street. Like, you have to find it. And I was like, okay, this is turning into a bookstore crawl. And I went to, there are 4 bookstores on one street. I went to all 4 of them. We finally got it. Basically, this book is about a woman who can predict people's soulmates, and she has like a whole matchmaking business because of it. And she knows the name of her own soulmate. His name is Daniel, but for 10 years, she just hasn't found him. So she knows his name, she just hasn't met him yet. And she's just like so close to giving up. So the day before her 40th birthday, she meets another guy that's 28 years old, and she's like, yeah, I'll just have a fling because I can't find Daniel. But then she starts to have stronger feelings for this 28-year-old guy that she's having a fling with, and they start seeing each other more. And that guy introduces her to his boss, and the boss ends up being Daniel. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. It sounds fun. The whole idea that she knows everyone's soulmate and she can't even find her own. She knows the name, can't find him, and then she finds him through another guy. Sounds great. Sounds so much fun. I feel like I never see Read with Jenna stickers on romance books. I feel like I more so see them on contemporary or literary fiction, and so that was interesting to me. I actually found out who Jenna was through Rosalie's video, and I was like, what? Jenna's last name is Bush? What? Like, just felt so random. But anyway, really excited for this. Obviously very highly recommended by a bookseller, and I love hearing what booksellers are reading. The fact that she's like, you have to go find it, you have to go find it. So I hope it doesn't disappoint. The next thing I got is Heated Rivalry, because I did watch the show and now I just kind of want to consume everything about Shane and Ilya. I don't think I'm gonna like read the other books about the other people. I don't care that much. I just kind of want to know about Shane and Ilya. I feel like all of my friends gave me disclaimers that this isn't written that great, but it's like, it's okay because we already watched the show and we already got attached to Shane and Ilya, so that's all that matters. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it regardless of how it's written or what's going on. I just want more of Shane and Ilya, so got that. And then I got In Your Dreams. This is on my 2026 TBR. It's the last book in the When in Rome series. I really love this series. It's such a simple rom-com type of series and nothing serious ever happens. Like, it's not that deep, but I just feel like maybe because I go into it with such low expectations, not even low in a bad way, I just go into it knowing that it's gonna be very simple, basic rom-com. I'm never disappointed. I always have such a good time. It's the last one in the series, just want to wrap it up. And I hope I love this one too, because I really did love the first three of them. So the last book that was on my list that I made is Anything by Denise Williams. And in the store I was holding Just Our Luck. That was a book by her. I think she came out with it maybe in 2024, or was it last year? I don't know. I feel like that's a book that I always kind of looked at and thought about getting. The cover is just so beautiful. I always gravitate towards it. But something about the lottery, the premise has to do with the lottery or something, and I don't know, I'm just not that interested in that storyline. I don't know. But this is a very new release of hers. I think this book came out in January, and so I was like, I'll get this one instead. That's perfect, because the woman who owns the bookstore, the all romance bookstore, she was actually talking about how she loved this one, and I was like, okay girl, where is this one? Because I only saw Just Our Luck on the shelf, and she was like, oh, the new one, I love that one, we have to put them out. I'm like, yeah, put them out. So yeah, she let me buy this one even though she didn't shelve it yet. This one is about a woman who wants to redo like major moments in her life, and she ends up doing them with her brother's best friend. I love Denise Williams covers. They're just so beautiful. The Just Our Luck one, also beautiful. If I really like this and really like her writing, maybe I can go back and read that one. Something about the lottery just, I don't know why that plot point, that storyline doesn't really intrigue me, but we'll see how I feel about this one. Maybe we can go back. So the last book that I got that was not on my list but just sounded so interesting, and honestly I feel like this isn't even really romance, it's called Storybook Ending. And basically this just sounds so interesting to me because it's about three people, April, Wesley, and Laura. And April works in a bookstore, and I think she like has a crush on Wesley or something, so she writes a note and puts it in a book for Wesley to find. But Laura ends up being the one finding the note, and she thinks that this note is from Wesley to her. So Laura responds back, and Laura and April just end up talking to each other, but they both think they're talking to Wesley. The thing about it, Wesley is in this bookstore because he's filming something, and so he's so focused on whatever he's filming that he's completely oblivious to all of this. And I'm pretty sure the bigger picture and the ending is going to talk about friendship and bring you back to friendship and whatnot. So I don't think this is exactly romantic, or maybe Laura and April might fall in love, who knows? I don't actually know, I haven't read it yet, but I don't know how romantic this one's gonna be. I think this one's gonna be more just like a comforting contemporary fiction book, and I'm cool with that. But it just sounded really interesting, so I picked that one up too. So that's my haul. These are the books that I got. I'm really excited for them, and I hope they restore my faith in romance books. I feel like I could have a really fun time with all of these, and I am really looking forward to this one and only one. It literally came out just last week, and I think that's why bookstores, they either didn't have it yet or they had one single one and they sold it. But yeah, excited for these books. I think I'm gonna like them all. I think I'm gonna have fun reading all of them. Fingers crossed. I'm about to bake some chocolate chip cookies. I feel like Valentine's Day week is always the perfect excuse to eat whatever. I eat lots of chocolate with no care in the world, and now I'm gonna bake some chocolate chip cookies. I am not that good at baking, but I feel like cookies are the easiest baked good, so fingers crossed it all goes well. I've been meaning to ask, how do you guys feel about Valentine's Day? I know sometimes it can bring out some bitterness and people feel lonely and stuff like that, which fair enough. I honestly feel like Christmas time would be the time that I would feel most lonely, like if I wasn't with my sister or like anyone from my family. I feel like Christmas time would feel more lonely than Valentine's Day. Like, I'm okay spending Valentine's Day alone, but I draw the line at Christmas. I have to like fly back to where she is because, I don't know, I feel like that would just be extra sad. But I never really feel any way about Valentine's Day, and I think it's because I grew up in a Valentine's Day household where my dad would get presents for everyone. Like, it wasn't a thing where it was just about my mom, his romantic partner. He would get gifts for all of us, all of his kids. He would even get gifts for his, not coworkers, the people who worked for him. He would get gifts for them too. He just got gifts for everyone. And I feel like he low-key took Valentine's Day more seriously than Christmas. And so to me, it's never been focused on romantic love. It was just like, okay, someone in your life that you appreciate, give them a gift, give them a Valentine, give them a rose, give them some chocolate, something, you know, give them one of those little teddy bears. Like, it's just always been about appreciation for anyone in your life. Anyway, that's always how I thought about it, and I hope everyone has that mindset as well. I hope no one's feeling lonely today. I hope we're all good, having a good Valentine's Day. And if no one told you, happy Valentine's Day from me, and also, I love you if no one told you that they love you. If no one told you that they appreciate you, I appreciate you. This is the second batch. I can't explain it, but I feel like this batch looks the best. I don't know why. I snuck a little piece from there from an ugly one, and it is so good. That's actually the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had in my life. Not to be dramatic. Also, I had to do a third batch. That's literally just one single cookie. This is like actually ridiculous. It's my perfect cookie that's like soft and chewy, slightly crisp on the edges. I thought it would be too much chocolate chips. I was looking at him like, this is an insane amount, but mixing milk chocolate chips with dark chocolate chips, perfect. Oh wait, the recipe doesn't say to do this, but I think I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of sea salt, maybe on some of them. I'm wearing this pajama top that my sister got me. It was a part of a set, and I'm just wearing the top as a regular top because I'm so committed to the Valentine's Day week. It has a bunch of hearts on it and it just felt fitting. Anyway, I finished Wuthering Heights, and I feel like I just didn't explain what this was about because I feel like everyone has read it and I'm the last person to read it. But just in case there's anyone out there who hadn't read it yet and would like to know what it's about. Basically, there's a new tenant called Lockwood, and he found some journals of Catherine's, and he started inquiring about Catherine and Heathcliff and like their past. And Nellie, who is a maid there, she has seen Catherine and Heathcliff grow up. She was there throughout their entire lives, so she witnessed it all, and she's retelling the story. That's like how the book is set up. Basically, Catherine's father brought Heathcliff home one day as an orphan, and they treated him so poorly because he was dark-skinned, and he was just so mistreated, and he dedicated basically his entire life to revenge. And he just would not let it go no matter what. Even points of the book where you're like, you won, bro. He still would not let it go till the day that he died. The whole book is just him seeking revenge throughout everyone's life, throughout his own life. And I think at some point you obviously feel for him when he's younger, but then as he grows up and he's just like intense and insane, you stop feeling for him. And I think Nellie felt the same way. Like, she really represents, I don't know if she's meant to, but I feel like she really represents the reader, because you're like, I feel so terrible for Heathcliff, and then you're like, oh my, Heathcliff's insane. A lot of the men in this book in general just deserve jail time. Heathcliff might have actually invented gaslighting. Like, no joke, I think he did. I really did enjoy the writing though. Like, I get it now. I get why classics are classics. There are so many horrible things that were being described in this book, and I'm still like annotating it because I'm like, that was said so beautifully. Like, this is a horrible thing to say, but wow, you said it so nicely. Something about 18th century drama and betrayal is just so entertaining. Like, you should have been focused on discovering electricity, yet you have so much time in your hands for all of this. I think I mentioned earlier in this video that the first couple chapters I was kind of confused by the point of view, but once Nellie started telling the story, I was no longer confused. I was good. Joseph in this book has a really strong dialect accent. I don't even know what you would call it, and some of it was a little bit hard to decipher, but there are obviously, what are these things called? There's like an index. What is it? Footnotes. Footnotes, yes. Well, not exactly footnotes, but you know the number. You get the point. It helps you out with what Joseph is saying. And that was really helpful. But I also kind of feel like, honestly, high school, my literature class in high school kind of set me up for this, because growing up in the Caribbean, we had to read lots of different dialects, and sometimes it's confusing, but yeah, that was something we had to work through. And so I think that really helped me with understanding Joseph, but that could be tough for people who isn't used to like reading different dialects. The other thing that could get quite confusing is all of the names, and the reason for this is because they were all marrying their cousins, and they're all related when you deep it. Like, that's where it got a little bit confusing, like the last names and calling them by Mrs. Linton and Mrs. this and Miss, I'm like, if you guys didn't marry your cousins, this wouldn't be that confusing. But that also naturally kind of gets easier as you continue reading, and you just kind of get it after a while, but that was a little bit confusing at first too, can't lie. Obviously, I mentioned that Heathcliff came home with Catherine's father one day as an orphan, and so they are not meant to be related. It's not stated that they're related in the book whatsoever, but I was reading some theories, and some people think that, considering the time and whatnot, that the father who brought home Heathcliff might have had an affair with someone else, and that his mother might have been dying or something, so he brought him home. And so that would make Heathcliff Catherine's half-brother, and I'm like, I wish I never read that theory. Like, I obviously can't think too hard about these things through like my modern eyes, but listen, cousin is one thing. I personally love that we as humans have evolved and no one's marrying their cousin anymore. But half brother is just, that's a bit much. But that's obviously just a theory. That's not, it doesn't say that in the book. He's known to be an orphan that her father brought home, but that's a theory that I've read, and I'm like, why did you guys put that in my head? Seeing Heathcliff just become more and more and more unhinged throughout the book was so entertaining. As I said, there are points of this book where you feel like you won. You won against these people. Move on, rest. And he just continues on. He will not let it go. Heathcliff is like a reminder that you're not being petty enough. You're not holding a grudge for long enough. He just would not let it go. And the ending of this book, to me, should be considered horror. Obviously not gonna spoil it for you, but if you know, you know. That's horrific. Like, that's all I could say about it. I would consider that to be horror. I was like, how did we get here? Like, I was rooting for you, Heathcliff. It's just, as I said, Nellie, she really like supported him when he was younger. And then she just started to realize that this man is insane, and I am Nellie. We are one. Because Heathcliff is a scary man. All of this probably could have been avoided if Catherine and Heathcliff would have just been together and like be insane together somewhere else. As much as I've made jokes about this book because I'm reading it from such a modern perspective, I would never like put that on the book, you know. I was still very entertained. I thought all the drama and the portrayal was so good, and there's just something about the way that it's written. It's like, I love it, and I really did have a good time reading this book. First 5 chapters, will admit I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this, and then out of nowhere I'm like, I'm absolutely loving this. Anyway, I decided I'm gonna rate Wuthering Heights 4.5 stars. I really do get the hype when it comes to Emily Bronte's writing, and I would love to read other things by her. If you've read other things by Emily Bronte, where should I go next? What should I read next? I was thinking Jane Eyre, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. I finished this book yesterday in the afternoon, and I have this thing where I need to read a book before I fall asleep at night, and so I started a new book, just regular modern day contemporary fiction, and it felt like I was time traveling from one book to the next. I was like, whoa, I need to put myself back into this time. Now that I've read this book for myself, I feel like the movie trailer is just confusing to me. I don't get it. But I haven't watched it yet, so maybe when I do watch it, I'll get it, but kind of concerned. We'll see. I think I'm gonna go watch it in a few hours, and I'll get back to you on how I feel about the movie. But I really loved the book. That was really fun. I really want to read more classics. Something about reading books from that time, I feel like that's truly escapism, because I feel like I'm in a different world. That was interesting. I got so much warning that this was going to be very different from the book, and that is true. I feel like if you are a huge fan of the book Wuthering Heights, this movie might not move you as much. I really enjoyed the visuals of this movie, the scenes, the setting. It was very pleasing to the eye. The same person who did this movie, Emerald Fennell, she's the director, she wrote the screenplay, she's a producer, she's a filmmaker. She also did Saltburn, and that's one of my favorite things about Saltburn. I just love how it looks, and the plot itself is like It's all right. I thought it was a nice little plot twist there, but it's mostly about the visuals of it all for me. And she did this movie as well, so I wasn't shocked to there that I was intrigued by that part of it. I feel like I always say I want to go into movies that come from books with an open mind. Like, I know there are going to be changes, like, that's cool. I just wish I knew why and what goes on in their head when they're deciding to make these changes. It's just like, I have no idea what she was going for with this one. I think sometimes I could kind of guess why certain changes are made in movies. I have no clue what she had in her mind, what she was going for. It just feels such an insane difference. Some of the characters in the book literally don't even exist in this movie, and that was a choice. Like, two of them, that feels like it. Actually, one of them, it seems like she tried to merge it into a different character and just like make that person's persona with this other person, if that makes sense. But basically, two characters just weren't even in existence in the movie, and it's just like, what? That felt like a wild choice. I also feel like Nellie was not important enough. She was important to the movie, but she should have been more important. Nellie was my girl in the book. Also, Joseph, a whole different person in the book and in the movie. It was kind of weird to see him in that light in the movie. I honestly feel like I could have liked the movie more if I didn't read the book. But I'm glad that I know. I'm glad that I have something to compare it to. And I think a huge part of my confusion on what Emerald Fennell was even going for is the fact that I finished the book yesterday. Like, it's just not connecting in my mind. Like, the biggest similarities were their names. I also feel like Heathcliff was not nearly hateful enough. He should have been way more hateful. There were some random humorous moments in there which you could feel was very much a modern take, and I kind of enjoyed that. Giggled a little bit. Margot Robbie delivered the famous line. She did it so well. I mean, Jacob Elordi delivered some famous lines too, but there's nothing like the way Margot did it. I also really loved the music that was in this movie. It was music by Charlie XCX. I'm pretty sure the album actually comes out tonight, so I can't wait to listen to that because I loved the music that was going on in this movie. Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna stick to me saying, like, if you really love this book, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this movie because so much changes. It's so different. I feel like the point of Heathcliff being so like toxic and focused on revenge throughout his life wasn't emphasized enough. It was more so emphasizing their love for each other, which is fine. It's just a different take. It's actually a lot of people's take when they read the book or watch different things about it. So I like get it, but yeah, if you want something true to the book, this is definitely not it, and I don't think anyone expects it to be. I think if you are like me and you like to watch movies for visuals and aesthetics, you could really enjoy this one too. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I love Call Me By Your Name because of that. Saltburn is another one, and this one as well. I do. So yeah, I guess I kind of recommend it. I kind of liked it just on its own. I think the book is just too fresh in my mind, and that's what's like clouding my judgment. But the movie on its own is fine. Random fun fact. The actress that plays Isabella in this movie, Wuthering Heights, she also plays Jacob Elordi's sister in Saltburn. So they're in these two movies together. In Saltburn, they're siblings, and in this movie, they're husband and wife. I feel like I always wonder why filmmakers always recycle their actors. Is it just because you worked with this person before and you're like, well, we work well together, let's just do another movie again? Because the two of them being in Saltburn together and the two of them being in this movie together, it's just like, was there no one else? Although I actually preferred her performance in Wuthering Heights than I did in Saltburn. But I preferred Jacob Elordi's performance in Saltburn than Wuthering Heights, so maybe we needed a different Heathcliff. No shade though. I don't know, I personally feel like Margot Robbie just did way better than he did. But what's new? The women are always serving. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the movie, on the book, and Valentine's Day is coming up. So once again, happy Valentine's Day. If you got to this point of the video, comment the dead rose for Wuthering Heights, or just comment a heart for Valentine's Day. And if you're planning to watch the movie, let me know. I would love to know your thoughts. If you watched it already, if you've read Wuthering Heights, I would love to know your thoughts on all of that. I feel like it's just been everywhere. Like, I've been seeing so many ads about it. I'm glad that I finally got to go see it for myself. The promotion for this movie was intense. It was very much in your face, so glad I got to watch it. It was cool. Did I ever say what I'm rating it? No, I'm rating it 3 stars. Did I say that? I don't even know. I feel like I need to go eat dinner. Anyway, this is the end of this video. Happy Valentine's Day again. And if no one told you, I love you. Thanks for watching. Bye. I paused Sex in the City and this is the ad that I get. This promo is so aggressive. I already saw it. Leave me alone.